Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss the second chapter of Standard 9 is Matter Around Us Pure. In that one we are going to discuss about the separation of substances. Already we have discussed about the mixtures, solutions, suspensions, colloids and everything. Today we are going to discuss how the substances can be separated, how the mixtures can be separated. First we are going to discuss the common three methods. This you are familiar with all these three methods. The first one is hand picking. You know that your mother from home, you may notice that when stone is there in rice or wheat, how they are separating by taking it out from hand only. So that is an easy method. Suppose the particles are of the same size and it is visible with the naked eye, you can separate it by the method of hand picking. The second method is filtration. You know that when we are making tea at home, to filtrate we are using that strainer. That means that liquid part we are separating from that insoluble solid part. So to separate an insoluble solid from a liquid, you can use this filtration. How we are doing this filtration? You know that the funnel will be there, filter paper will be there, and we are pouring the mixture into that funnel and filter paper. After that, the pure solvent or pure water you will get in the beaker and the insoluble solid will be there in the filter paper. So this is how we are doing this filtration. And the third one is that sieving. Sieving also you may notice at your home when your mother sieving the floor. When they are sieving the floor means if any stone or small stone particles are there, then means that will not pass through the sieve, it will be there in the sieve and the fine particle will pass through the sieve. So like this way you can separate the particle. So these three are common methods that we are using at normal life also, day-to-day life also we are using this one. Now we are going to discuss about some of the physical method. So the first method is that evaporation. So evaporation method is used to separate a non-volatile solid from a volatile solvent. What is mean by volatile and non-volatile substances? Volatile means the substances it can be evaporated easily. Such type of substances are known as volatile substances. So evaporation can be used to separate a non-volatile solid from a volatile solvent. I am going to take one example here, that is ink. You know that ink is a mixture of dye and water. It is a mixture of dye and water. Here dye is the solid non-volatile substances. That means it will not evaporate easily. But here water is the volatile solvent. That means it will evaporate easily. So to prove this one, we are going to do one experiment. On the screen you can see the experimental arrangement. So in this experiment we are going to fill the beaker with water and we are going to put a watch glass on the mouth of it. After that, put a few drops of ink on the watch glass and now start heating the beaker. After some time you can see the vapor coming out from the watch glass. What is happening here is this water will be evaporated fast here. So the volatile water will be evaporated and the leftover one is the dye. That leftover dye will be there in this watch glass. You can see this one. Like this way you can separate the dye and the water from ink. So this evaporation method is used to separate a non-volatile substance from a volatile solvent. Next we are going to discuss the second method, that is centrifugation. So the second method is centrifugation. What is the principle behind this centrifugation? The heavier particles will settle down at the bottom. What is this that we are going to discuss it now? In suspensions you know that the solute particles it can be separated by the process of filtration. But in colors you know that the particles are not separated by this filtration because they are not unstable, they are stable, that you know that. So here in to separate the colloids, the substances, the two phases will be there in colloids. To separate the colloids, we are using this method, centrifugation. You can see here the centrifuging machine. So what is actually happening here, that we are taking the liquid, suppose milk you have to take, otherwise blood also it's an example for colloids. You can take that, test tube like structures are there, in that structure you can take these solutions. After that you are making them to rotate fast rotation of this centrifuging machine is occurring here. At that time what will happen is, the heavier particles, because you are rotating it continuously, so what will happen, the heavier particles will settle at the bottom and the lighter one will be there at the upper side. This is actually happening in when you are taking butter from milk, that churner, kitchen you are using the churner, in that one we are rotating it continuously. After that the butter will come upside. So this is the what is happening in this centrifugation. So next we are going to discuss about the applications of centrifugation. So what is the first one? Used in the diagnostic laboratories for blood and urine tests. For blood and urine test you are using this centrifugation method, and the particles of the blood also we can separate it by this method. You can find RBC, WBC, plasma, and everything is there in the blood. So in here that RBC is the heavier one. So when you are doing this centrifugation, I told you that this is the centrifuging jar. So when you are doing this centrifugation, so you know that the heavier particles will be there at the bottom. Heavier particles will settle down at the bottom. So here you can find this RBC, then you will have this WBC, and at the upper side you can find this plasma. So like this way you can separate the components of the blood also. These three parts can be separated by centrifugation. And the second one is that it is used in dairies and home to separate butter from cream. Already we have discussed that one. The churning that we are using, this is also a different form of centrifugation. To separate butter from cream, we are using this centrifugation method. And the last one is used in washing machines, dryer. In dryer we are using this method only, that means to squeezing water from the clothes. This centrifugation is using, that means spinning is occurring there. After that the water will squeeze out from this water. So these are the applications of this centrifugation. So now we have discussed two methods, that is evaporation and centrifugation. Next we are going to discuss the third method, that is using separation funnel. How can we separate two immiscible liquids? To separate two immiscible liquids we are using this separating funnel. So what is immiscible liquids? Immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids means the liquids that do not mix each other. One liquid is not soluble in the other. Example, oil and water. You know that oil and water, they do not mix each other. When you shake it vigorously also, after sometimes you can see separate layers there. That means they are immiscible liquids. So to separate the immiscible liquids we are using this method, that is separating funnel that we are using. Here in the screen you can see this separating funnel. So you know that when you are taking these immiscible liquids, after sometimes you can see two layers there. That means the denser particles will be there. The denser liquid will be at the bottom and the lighter will be at the top. So here we are using the principle is that density difference that we are using here. So the heavier liquid will be there at the bottom of the funnel and the lighter will be there at the top of the funnel. So when you are taking two immiscible liquids, you know that they won't mix each other. So after keeping some times, you can see two separate layers. Already we had discussed that this is depending on the density differences. So the heavier particles, the heavier liquid will be there at the bottom and the lighter will be there at the top of this funnel. So there will be a stopcock. You can see this stopcock there. So stopcock, when you are opening this stopcock, the liquid at the bottom will come first and you can stop at the interface. I told you that there will be a barrier, there will be a layer. So at the layer, at the interface, you can stop that one. And you separated the liquid that is at the bottom, you can separate, and now in the funnel you are having only one liquid. You can take it into another beaker. Like this way you can separate two immiscible liquids. I hope all of you have understood the topics that I have explained in this video. Thank you all and don't forget to subscribe our channel Nirja Education.